What's up YouTube, it's Australia Duel Masters here, back with a different video for you all today. Wizard of the Coast, hear our cry. With the worldwide community continuing to grow and how active Duel Masters is in 2023, with so many content creators out there creating regular content for the game, the Gauntlet, Garabon, and the OGs of Duel Masters, Earth Power back in business, I thought it wouldn't be a bad time to discuss a topic that I know you will all be very interested in. Now, before I go any further, I'd like to mention that the Gauntlet has been doing a video series on his channel the past few months surrounding DM-13, which has been great, and I suggest if you haven't seen it, definitely go and check it out and get yourself in the loop when it comes to all things DM-13. So we as a channel had planned to tackle DM-13 as a team, but seeing as the Gauntlet has covered it in such great detail, we don't feel the need to do it anymore. So all the content and hype lately surrounding DM-13 has had us chatting back and forth about the possibility of Wizards of the Coast releasing DM-13 in English. For us, seeing as that DM-13 Eternal Phoenix was the final set to close out the Holy Fist Saga block, which unfortunately never saw release in English. Now, obviously, it is worth noting that it is highly unlikely that Wizards of the Coast will do this and release the set in English, but the what ifs have kept us up at night wondering about the possibility of it. Now, it's important to note that if Wizards of the Coast were to release DM-13 in English, it is near on impossible that they would do a mass print / wide scale worldwide release. If they were to do it, it would have to be via a special order or ordering process where people would pre-purchase and pre-buy the booster boxes in advance so that they would know how many to produce and make. Again, this is all hypothetical, but this is the only way that we could foresee it going ahead. Now, why is it important that we see DM-13 released in English? The most important reason is so that it can give lifelong fans of Duel Masters and the TCG the closure they deserve, as the release of DM-13 Eternal Phoenix would see the conclusion of the Holy Fist Saga block. So for a little bit more context, history and background on DM-13 and why else it's important that we see the release of DM-13 in English, I'll provide some more context. So when you look at sets DM-10 to 12, the multi-civ cards were cards that were paired with what would be considered ally civilizations. So we had light water, water darkness, darkness fire, fire nature, and light nature. DM-13 though threw this concept completely out the window. So DM-13 Eternal Phoenix flipped the script on the allies by introducing new multi-civ cards belonging to light fire, light darkness, water fire, water nature, and darkness nature. Some creatures with these combinations carried with them the mechanic called sympathy, where the creature's cost is reduced by 1 for each race the creature specifies. An example would be the light fire Asylum Elemental Dragon Knight, who reduces his 6 mana cost for each angel command and armor dragon you already have in the battle zone. The other thing worth noting was Eternal Phoenix Dragon Flame Phoenix, comprising of Firebird and Armor Dragon, would have been the 6th and final avatar had the DM-13 set been released in English, as well as the first mono-civ Vortex Evolution creature. So according to the set's lore, the Shattered Rainbow in DM-10 was what created the multi-civ creatures. The Wave Strikers from DM-11 were a task force called the Infinite Army and were brought together to hunt down these creatures, and as the two factions went at it, the avatars all rose up and went on a rampage, wiping out everything. So Eternal Phoenix here, a neutral party in the conflict, went about and destroyed each of the avatars one by one, before going back to sleep, leaving the creature world utterly devastated. So having this set released in English has the potential to change the metagame worldwide in everyone who still plays this wonderful game's respective country. So to this day, in 2023, we have active dueling communities in Australia, New Zealand, USA, Finland, Denmark, Germany, Romania, Singapore, Philippines, India, France, Italy, Mexico, and Japan, just to name a few, which is impressive for a card game that hasn't had any support since it died in late 2006. So guys, it is completely worth emphasizing that we understand that this is unlikely to go anywhere, but we thought, what's the harm in creating a petition in the hopes that Wizards of the Coast may in fact hear our cry. So, and they might potentially come across the petition and actually release it in English as a special release for die-hard Duel Masters fans. So if you'd like to sign the petition, we'll leave a link in the description of this video. Please make sure you share it far and wide, as the more momentum it gets, the more chance it has of happening. Also, you never know who this petition may end up in front of. Someone may actually have the power to make this happen. You never know. Until next time, Australia Duel Masters out.